Hello beautiful seekers, this is Clarity 1129. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Wishing you a very happy full moon in Aquarius, which is today as I'm recording this. This is the 1st of August. Between 1st and 2nd of August, the full moon will actually be happening at different parts of the world, and the effects of this will carry on for some more time, for almost say about 2 weeks or so. Now, full moons, as you know, are a time of completion, and you take stock of what happened in the last 6 months. All right, from the last new moon to the full moon. All right, in Aquarius, that is. So basically, from Aquarius season to Leo season, there'll be these 6 months. What is it that you have learned from whatever it is that you've done? I mean, you would have made some manifestations and a lot of things have happened. So it's time for you during every full moon to, take stock of what went right, what didn't, what did you learn from it, how you can move on and things like that. Now, these two cards which I've kept here from the Moonology deck, this is the full moon card which says surrender to the divine, and this is particularly full moon in Aquarius which says show the world the real you. So these are the two themes which are highlighted during this time, which will be applicable for everyone. So no matter what your situation is and how you're feeling, know that when you have no answers, if you just surrender to the universe, surrender to the divine, those answers will come. In the meantime, just be your true, authentic self. Do what makes you happy. Just be you, and you'll find that you will go, flow. You will go with the flow, and flow is going to be something which is natural. You don't have to really try to do anything. Just be your authentic self. All right. Having said that, Aquarians, as you know, are not an individual sign. Aquarius is a sign of the community, and that's why we have moved into the age of Aquarius. So whatever shifts happen on a larger scale. For some of you, it is as small as your family. It's usually the community, a country, or the whole world. All right. So keeping that in mind, we are going to pull out 6 cards, and we're going to ask certain questions of what you can do, and how you can use your authentic, unique gifts, to benefit the society, and a few other questions. I'll, speak about it when we come to your reading. I'm going to keep this reading short. They're just going to be 6 cards, and we'll pull in some advice from the Moonology deck here. But I've kept only 2 piles, all right? Because it's already the 1st of August, and I want to put this reading out there for you, so I really don't have too much time. By the time I do this reading and put it out there, we'll be coming to the end of the day. All right, so let's just do this. As you can see, we have 2 piles. Pile number 1 is Light Seer's Tarot, this beautiful clear quartz crystal. Pile number 2 is the Scintillating Wave Tarot and this amazing amethyst crystal. All right, now my dear seekers, sit straight with your spine erect, palms open facing upward. Keep your eyes closed and take a deep breath. Hold. Slowly breathe out and relax into it. Slowly open your eyes, and whichever pile you're drawn to, that is your pile. All right, now let's get started. I will be live shuffling both the tarot as well as the oracle card. Okay. This is the time during the full moon. In fact, whenever anything associated with the moon has got to do with feminine energy, and I feel this is the right time to be able to receive things. Give yourself a pat on the back for a job well done. And whatever lessons you've learned, some places you would have goofed up, which is also good because that's a part of your journey. See, the Ace of Swords, as I said, that the absolute truth. I'm going to lay down the cards and then we'll go over what they mean for you. Alright? Or should we do it straight away? Okay, the first card says, how can you use your unique gifts to affect global change? And you get the Three of Pentacles. Okay? What is are the belief system in the community around you? And this can be as small as your family or as your community, your religion, however you identify, something that has been bothering you for a while. All right, so what is the belief in your community, that no longer serves them and that they need to change? And you get the Page of Wands. What global causes can you actually lend your energy to benefit the world? And you get the Nine of Swords. How can you help others in your community to change their beliefs? You get the Chariot. And what is the style of communication that you need to release during this time? You get the Star. And last but not the least, how can you utilize your unique gift to actually, empower others to be more vulnerable? And you get the Three of Cups. All right, my dear pile number one. If you, if the questions that I read out were slow, it's because I had actually jotted them down, and I jotted them down in very poor handwriting and really small, and I couldn't make out my own handwriting. All right, I actually, for these, especially for full moon and new moon readings, I take the questions from Biddy Tarot. I mean, she is whom I've learned tarot from right in the beginning when I started off, from her books and from her workshop. And so I always, when I come back to these readings, because they're very beneficial for me, I do it all the time. So I just jot them down. She's got, for different seasons, she writes, puts in different questions, but I go with what I feel is most applicable at that time. And so this is what I've taken from her book of last year, which I have, which I feel really captures the essence of the full moon in Aquarius. All right, so let's get started. So your first question for this was, how can you utilize your unique gifts to bring about global change? And you get the Three of Pentacles, which is a card about building. All right, whatever it is that you're doing at this time, my dear pile number ones, those of you who've chosen this beautiful clear quartz crystal, whatever it is that you're doing, you may feel that you're just doing a mundane job. You just go to work every day and you don't do much. That's not true. That's how you're looking at it. You're not zooming out and looking at the larger picture. Every bit of energy that you put out there into the universe to build, you may be thinking, I'm just going there and doing my work and I get the money for what I'm doing. But you're not looking at the larger picture. When you pour out your energy lovingly into something that you do, and do it in a graceful fashion, give it your all, have a work ethic, people around you are learning from you. That energy spreads. All right, and this way you are contributing big time to the work that you're doing. So all you need to do is to know that people around you are watching you. They are they learn from you. And when you are in a positive vibe and you have a certain work ethic wherein you know that you are going there, yes, you get paid for it, but you don't cut corners. You work diligently, you do what's asked for, you go that extra mile. And this is why, actually traditionally, if you look at the Three of Pentacles, the person's on a pedestal. They are building with somebody, but they have been put on a pedestal because people are looking at them. So this is the energy that you are in, and this is what you need to keep doing. You're doing a great job. Just do it the way you're doing it, with integrity, and that is the one way that you can inspire people around you. And we need more people like this who whether regardless of anyone, regardless of the fact that anyone's watching them, when they go to do something, they give their full involvement in it. All right, they do whatever they can to the best of the ability, and they do it with grace, and they do it with a very positive mindset. And when they do that, they unknowingly inspire people around them. And when we have more people like that, we will slowly and steadily affect global change, because it all starts with us. In fact, if everyone just took care of themselves and acted with complete integrity, we would not have any of the problems on this planet, because every step of the way we would be putting in thought into our actions. We would be acting mindfully. So this is just the beginning. So keep up the good work. Pile number 1. What beliefs are in your society have a detrimental effect on your community? All right, what is the way of thinking that needs to change? And you get the Page of Wands. And with this I get, the Page of Wands is at the beginning. The King of Wands is the highest. So the King of Wands is a visionary. He sees ahead, he looks at the larger picture, he's got a lot of responsibilities, he knows what to do. The Page of Wands is someone who's starting afresh. Alright, they're learning, they're in that phase, they can make mistakes, and to an extent they don't really, they're not as responsible as the King. And what you have seen possibly in your community is that people don't take responsibility for their actions. They are immature. They'd rather play the blame game. And maybe this is something that has come into your focus over and over again, that people make a mistake, and instead of apologizing or taking corrective action, they just pretend as though someone else will do it, or they just leave it at that and laugh it away. It's happened. Like, for example, I have actually seen, we've gone to a posh place here, and an eatery, which is a beautiful, it's over a large expanse of beautiful greens everywhere. It's done very beautiful, and they have these little lotus ponds everywhere as you walk into this place. And every place there are, at regular intervals, there are these dustbins. And still you find, people have eaten something and thrown the wrapper of some ice cream or something into the lotus pond, wherein just less than 2 feet away there would be a dustbin. And this attitude is what needs to change. And this is what you have been noticing in your community. Maybe for some of you, you've actually been verbal about it. You've seen someone do that and you've stopped them and said, don't litter out there. Go and, use the dustbin which is there. And people have not liked it maybe, but that doesn't stop you. Or if someone is smoking in a no smoking area and you actually walk up to someone and say don't do it, and they just laugh it off, and the others with them also laugh it off. And this is something you feel which is careless and which needs to change. And I feel that this is something that for each of you it's going to be different, but these are little issues which actually serve as an irritant to you, and you want to do something to change that. The way of thinking, because what is the use of education if they can't actually use that for practical things? When, yes, I can understand if someone is impatient. I still don't understand it because but I'm just saying it for the sake of saying it, in the sense that if there is no dustbin and someone has just dropped it there, I don't understand it, but you can still accept it. But what is the logic behind having a dustbin right there and still putting it in a lotus pond, which is there for the beauty of the place? You've obviously come there because you've heard about this place and you want to spend time here, and then you go and litter that place and walk away because you feel that someone will come and do it. It's their job to keep this clean. I think that's a very wrong way of doing it, right? So similarly, there are, it, and the people who do this are not people who are not educated. They know that it's not right. It's just some sort of a mindset. And this is, things like this, which, people who make a lot of fuss while waiting in queue. There are n number of examples. So you can, identify what it is that irritates you about these people, but you see that as immaturity and you feel that this needs to change. And these are your points, which you identify. And these are one of the few things that you can actually align with, have a group of people, and or whether it's your friends or in a larger base, and you find, you brainstorm and find a solution, or you have a small little system of rules maybe in your community or where you're staying, and maybe you find somebody or whatever. Because sometimes, yes, you expect people to charge, put fines here and there, but they don't, or it doesn't work that way. So if you can do little things in your smaller community before you make it big, it would be wonderful. Or for some of you, you might, see what is happening and actually record it and put it on YouTube or some, so that the people do. It's not to shame somebody. It is not to get cheap thrills out of putting someone down, but it is to create awareness. And this is what you're being asked to do at this time. And what global causes can you champion, to have a greater impact on the world? And look at this Nine of Swords. It's possible that you've already been working on this, pile number 1. You've already been working on this. And with this Nine of Swords, sometimes you feel there's no end to it and nothing is happening. But just know, wherever you're putting your energy into, whether it's being graceful while being at work, or whether it is doing your little bit in being a good law-abiding citizen, even if you're making those changes and people don't listen to you. Sometimes people close a home, don't listen to you, and they make fun of you. And this actually causes a lot of distress in your mind, but you're being asked to just keep at it. You don't worry about the results. You do what you have to do. Slowly in time, things will improve, things will change. The more and more, nowadays everyone has a phone. The more people see, how it is that people actually live out there, they will change. All right, there are a lot of things that go behind people, and why they act so petty. But you just being asked to come out of your head and know that you're doing a good job. The universe is applauding you for all that you've done. Also, for some of you, maybe it is, so take it how it resonates. It could be this and the other thing that I'm going to just say. For some of you, maybe you work in healthcare and you take care of people's mental issues, people who are going through psychological problems. For some of you, you may be counselors. For some of you, you may just be light workers. You just listen to people, maybe a lot of people come to you with their problems and they feel better talking to you. If you are light workers, and if you've not even realized it, and if you feel you're very sensitive and people come and offload and then they feel better, you're also being asked to take care of yourself. Make sure that you find a way to cleanse yourself of this energy. All right, but this is something that you can really do, because I feel that you are an empath, pile number 3, and this is one of the things that you can actually do to help people in your community or on a larger platform. The next thing you have, how can you help others by examining their beliefs about the global community? And you get the Chariot. Wow, this is beautiful. First of all, by coming to this understanding that there is light and shade in every individual, including ourselves here. All right, when you identify that and you realize that, when you point out someone or to someone their mistake, the first thing they want to do is to be on the defensive and say, no, I didn't do it, or what's your problem, and this is because they get triggered. No one likes to be caught when they are operating from their dark side, because they suddenly feel shame. But the fact is that each and every one of us, we have a light and a shadow side, and we have to accept everyone as they are for who they are. And when they feel accepted, then is the time that they will actually take the time to listen to what you have to say. If they feel cornered, if they feel you're pointing a finger, if they feel shamed, they're not going to listen to you. And this is the realization that you're coming to, that if you want people to change, you have to put it across to them in a way that doesn't threaten them, that doesn't make them feel less than. And that is the only way you can move forward, because then they will willingly come with you and do, understand your point and carry this forward. So it's about inspiring them and not getting them to, just make them uncomfortable to be able to do that. Because then what happens, that they will do the right thing when people are watching, and when people are not watching, they'll still do what they had to do. But if you inspire them, and if you make them understand where it is that they're going wrong without belittling them or making them feel less than, then it's more likely that you can actually affect this change in people. How can you change the way what are the forms of communication that you need to release? And you get the star. I feel that a lot of you who have come here to the reading, you are working on a larger platform with maybe some of you are there on YouTube, and I feel this is, or either on YouTube or whatever services you provide it online. All right, and I feel this especially for those people whom I said are working towards people's mental health, whether it's an online community, maybe, because nowadays you have a lot of counselors who work online, they connect with you online. Or even if it is that you're a tarot card reader, you connect to people online, and you're being through whatever, indirectly, basically you're not doing a one-on-one, and you're being asked to, as much as you can, try and do a one-on-one from time to time, especially for people who really, really need it. All right, because you can affect change when you show yourself, and people can have that connect with you. That's when things can change. So if you haven't really come on a global platform, or you're just not showing your face, or maybe you're, basically the connect is not one-on-one. It is like, for example, I was looking for a counselor, and even the first appointment with that counselor was online, though the person is nearby and we could actually have gone and met that person, but they would only speak to you online. And then we actually did not go because we wanted something which was more personal. And this is exactly what I'm trying to tell you here now. There are some services that you can provide online, but sometimes you need to ground your energy some more. So if you've been speaking of higher things, because your mind is so beautiful and you can see so much more, just try and pitch it to the level of the person who's coming to you, and try and be, form a better connect with the person you're talking to. Because despite your best intentions, maybe you're not actually able to penetrate through their minds or their hearts in a way you can, because you have that potential. With the star energy, you're a great healer, pile number one, but it's not reaching them. So you need to find alternate ways of actually making sure that people feel heard and understood. All right, this is something else you can explore. Maybe you can have a website wherein people can actually contact you, and you can give them a time, and then have online, one-on-one kind of communication. See, if you are working globally, obviously you can't meet people in person, but you can devise your ways of making it more personal. All right. This is something which has come very strongly. Or maybe there was a time wherein you were, like for example, if you were a tarot card reader, and people used to come to you for personal readings, and now you've stopped that, because you're into a lot of things, but you're being asked by the universe to actually start that maybe in a limited fashion, so that you're not deprived of your energy, but you need to reach out a little more to people. This is for some of you who needed to hear that. And last but not the least, you get, how can you empower others to be more vulnerable? And you get the beautiful 3 of Cups. You are being asked to go out there and meet people. So if you are a person who is so focused on your coin and on making this world a better place, but you're doing it from, a place wherein you are in your little shell, you're doing great work, don't get me wrong, you're giving your energy out. Even if you are a tarot reader, you're putting your energy out there. That's a lot. But if you're not able to actually go and mingle with people or engage in society, engage with your community, then you are robbing them of some beautiful energy that they might benefit by. See, the thing is, it's like when you touch somebody's life, they will pay it forward. All right. And so, though you're doing a wonderful job, how you're doing it, keep doing that great work, pile number 1, don't stop it at all. But you're being asked to go out and reach out to more people. Maybe you have this, people love you for what you do, but they're kind of intimidated by you, and it would really benefit your community, at least the people around you, if you interacted with them some more, and if they saw you, and so that they don't put you on a pedestal and they feel that what you have is unattainable. They should know that they can also make their lives as beautiful as how they perceive your life, and they will do that when they actually interact with you. So you're being asked to interact with people on especially around you, especially if you're the kind of person who's an introvert or who's got so much on their plate that they can't really go out and interact. You're being encouraged to go out there and show your real self to people in a way that they can actually, it's like, if I watch Oprah Winfrey, I know she's a wonderful person, but if I were to see her someday, how it would touch me would be something different. And it's not humanly possible for her to go and meet everyone in the world outside. I understand that. So do that good work, but at least wherever you can actually give your energy in person, it would benefit a lot of people around you, and in turn it would benefit you. All right. And wow, if you have come looking at this crystal for clarity, the answers you need are coming. All right. And with full moon in Gemini, and you get a time to give rather than take, new moon in Virgo. All right. So basically, both these Gemini and Virgo are ruled by Mercury. It's all about communication. So the way you communicate to people is of great importance. You are very inspirational. People look up to you. People see the kind of life you created for yourself. They see your ideas. They're inspired by it. Communication is a very key and essential factor for you to be able to affect global change. So you need to work on that. All right. And that's all I have for you, pile number 1. I hope this reading gave you some answers moving forward, because you really have the power to change the world by being your authentic self, but by allowing people to see your vulnerable side as well. All right. So take good care of yourself, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. Pile number 2 is those of you who've chosen the Scintillating Weight Tarot or this beautiful amethyst point. Here is your reading. I'm going to pull out 6 cards and then we'll explain. So you are the highly spiritual pile. Maybe you're getting a lot of spiritual downloads during this time. Maybe you have a lot of dreaming, or you're getting clairvoyant messages. Let's see what comes through. I'm going to lay down the cards and then I'll read out the questions. As I was telling pile number 1, the questions I wrote were on a piece of paper, and I wrote it in rough very quickly, thinking that I could easily decipher my own handwriting. But despite the fact that I've got my glasses on, I'm finding it so difficult to read it. Wow, 3 major arcana, one after the other. Woo, the 4th. What is this, pile number 2? Oh my lord. I can't believe this. Wonderful, wonderful energy. Ooh, beautiful. You can seriously make a huge impact. I mean, even a pile number 1 could, but look at this. Just look at your spread. There are 6 spots, of which 5 have major arcana. All right. And you get an additional card. All right. So, how can you utilize your unique gifts to contribute to the global community or global change? And you get this beautiful Justice card. A lot of you could be Librans out here, or have Libra in your chart, predominantly. Your sense of balance, your sense of justice, your sense of equality and wanting equality in whatever you do. You're seeing people as one is what is going to help you be such an effective leader. And I say leader because you, just by genuinely, and it's not something that is put on, you genuinely believe that all beings are created equal, and you genuinely believe that everyone ought to be treated with respect. You genuinely believe that everyone should have a piece of the pie. You genuinely believe that, and you work towards that. When you speak to people, no matter what they are doing in life, you speak to them politely, with respect. You always have that sense of balance within you, and that shows on the outside. And you are an inspiration of sort to the people around you who know you well, because people just look at you and wonder, my lord, how is this person so balanced all the time? But that is who you are, and this is the gift that you can offer the world and tell them this is how it can be and this is how it should be. All right, so the essence of who you really are. This is your most unique and precious gift, that you see people as equals and you deal with them like that. And this is something you can teach the world. What beliefs in your society have a detrimental effect on it? And you get the Fool. I feel that wherever you are in, whether this community is your family or it is, a little broader than that, whoever you're interacting with on a daily basis, whatever be your community, however large it is or small it is, I feel that you are the kind of person who, because you're so balanced on the inside, you are willing to move ahead and take risks, all right? And I feel that the community that you are in, they see that as immaturity, all right? They like to be in their comfort zone. And this is something that you can actually change, which is because you feel that your community is getting stagnant because of their unwillingness to change. You want to bring that full energy in because you are balanced and you know that the only thing that is constant in life is change. And so you see people in your community are averse to change and you want to bring that change there, but they feel, and they get threatened by it. And despite you saying that that's the best way forward, till they get answers and this, till they know what the outcome is going to be, they wouldn't budge. And this is, you can see that this is causing a lot of issues and will cause issues in the future, because people who do not change get stagnant, and this stagnant energy will slowly eat up the system. Whichever ways of thinking, if whatever rules are made, including laws, when they are made for that time period. All right, you try and make it as broad and whatever, because the situation at that time and the thinking of that time was completely different. 100 years down the line, you can't really follow. Why 100? Even 50 years down the line, you can't really follow what was made 50 years ago, because you don't know how society changes. In fact, now we are entering the age of the Aquarius. So many things need to change. I'm not saying tradition is wrong. I would not say that at all. I am an Aquarius. I am ruled both by Saturn and by Uranus. One talks about tradition, the other talks about breaking all tradition, total rebelliousness. I'm talking about balance. There is some good in tradition. Obviously, things which are tried and tested, people have seen what works, and that's why there's certain rituals that are followed. But there are certain rituals in those, if there are 100 rituals which were made for everyone's, for everyone to thrive, and it worked for a good 50 years, but after that only 40 worked and 10 were actually causing discomfort, then it's time to amend those 10. And there is no point in sticking with it in the name of tradition. And this is what your society does not understand, your community does not understand, and this is what you're willing to, actually teach them and want to change this for them. What global causes can you champion to have a greater impact on the world? And you get the Wheel of Fortune. This is the very thing. Wheel of Fortune is all about change. Everything changes. It's the seasons, so things, and this is what you're trying to tell them, that you need to change. And this is because you are so balanced, you're able to see things for what it is. You're able to see things objectively. And people just like to be in their comfort zone. But you, with this cardinal energy, you are able to move ahead, and you want to bring this change, not just in your life, because you can always live and thrive and be happy, but you want to give this as a gift to the community, a gift to this world that has given you so much. And this is what you can actually do, affect change, by actually being that change. All right, getting people, making them understand through various platforms how they need to actually embrace change, by being that shiny example in front of them, that here I'm changing, I've done something new, and I'm still reinventing myself. And maybe you're at your pinnacle of success and you change your career, and people are with their mouths wide open. What is this person doing? Do they know what they're up to? Are they out of their mind? How could they leave what they had? And then you go on to show them that you're wonderfully successful in this completely different thing that you do. So then you are inspiring people. Yes, it's time for us to get out of our comfort zone. All right? How can you help others examine their beliefs of the global community? And you get this beautiful star card. This is it. Exactly this. You can, just by being your authentic self, get people to understand, There are 2-3 things to this. One is when the star card comes, the star and the world, we're talking about trying to put this on a larger level, on on the internet, using technology to affect change globally. So these are your thoughts. You've got very powerful thoughts, and you have the ability to actually implement all of that you talk about. It's like what you say, what you think, and what you say and what you do are the same. And this is something that you're going to show people, how when you're talking about change, you're actually doing it and they're seeing you. And this is something that you're projecting on a larger scale, on a platform, using technology, using the internet, and people. And this is how you're affecting change. Maybe you already have a whole lot of followers and it's just growing. And more power to you, pile number 2, for those of you who are doing this, because you are going to be very instrumental in changing a lot of things in your community. All right? And especially if there are young people watching whatever you're putting out there, you have a tremendous impact on them, because you are in balance. And this is beautiful, brilliant energy. All right? And you're helping them change. You're telling them to be their authentic selves. They don't have to do what you're doing. They can do what they want to do. And even if no one in their society has done it before them, even if everyone says that what they're thinking is nonsense, you give them that hope that they can do it, because you have also changed when you needed to. I did not realize that I had to cover this. All right, I didn't pay attention. All right. And what type of communication should you release at this time? With the Moon card here and the Knight of Wands, if at times, you get very passionate about your cause and you get agitated about it, and you say write something because of that passionate energy that you have at that time, you're being asked to rethink that, because unless you have done complete research over it, because there are some things that you might say because you're so passionate about it, you just go out and do your own thing, and you want to make things, improve things in society. You want people to change, embrace change, move in a direction which is positive. You want to inspire people to do that. But when you say something passionately, now see, especially if you are the star who's being watched by so many people, especially young people was what I was picking up, who are looking up at you, who see that, wow, this person is really inspirational, all right, and they're looking to you, and then suddenly something triggers you, and you maybe come out there, and if you're a blogger, you write something, or if you have a YouTube channel, you say something very passionately. You're being asked to look at both sides. When you're speaking out of passion, make sure that you're in the same wonderful justice energy of balance. Because if you're not, there are a lot of things hidden behind the scene, and this can actually be detrimental to you as well as the people who are following you. So make sure that even when you're feeling a lot, when you're stirred, you actually take it easy and don't communicate during that time. And make sure, though there are some people who say, when you're feeling really passionate about something, and when you just pour your heart out there, and whatever you feel, people can understand, they pick up that energy. That's all right for people who have not made it big. If you are in this position wherein you have tons of followers, then it is your responsibility, the onus is with you, that you do not speak so passionately when you get triggered. Come back to balance before you speak, because your energy can make people who don't think like you on a normal basis, who are not in balance like you on a normal basis, they can actually change things for the worse. All right, so this is something that you need to release, is speaking without knowing the complete truth of something, or which is a certain problem, there are many ways of looking at it, especially if it's got to do with, say for example, something which is as volatile as religion. If you pick up one religion and you say that you don't like a certain thing about that religion, and you're so passionate about it because you've heard about something that's gone wrong because this particular religion follows it or that particular religion follows it, and you suddenly come on and you've got so many followers and you go and say something huge about it. You're hurting. First of all, you've not done full research about it. You've just seen the news or you've seen something and your heart is broken and you want to affect change, and you go out there and say whatever you have to. Think about it. Calm down. Stop yourself from communicating at that time. Wait for a day or 2 or 3 to pass before you do it. Think about it, research before you speak. Because in that energy, you might say something to hurt somebody without knowing the full truth, and it will have a negative impact on your community as well as you. All right? And last, what can you do to empower others to be more vulnerable? You get the 6 of Wands. And I feel that, people have put you on a pedestal, especially if you're here, the star. People are looking up at you because you are on a broader platform. And I really feel those of you who are here, you have some sort of following, all right, either on Facebook or on YouTube, somewhere. But there are a lot of people seeing you, or even if it's in your community, even if it's not online, though chances are very high that it's online. There are a lot of people who look at you, all right, and see you as very successful, and they've put you on a pedestal. And if while you're here, knowing that all these people are watching you, if you tell them how you have gotten here to this place of balance, what your struggles were, and being really candid with them, allowing them a sneak peek into your life, you can actually help them be more vulnerable. You encourage them to, if you've got a platform, to write in the comments how they're feeling, and you actually speak about your own experiences in little nuggets, when you were down in the dumps, how you pulled yourself out of it, because nobody has an absolutely smooth sailing life, and no one becomes an overnight success. To be an overnight success, there's so many years behind you, of so much of effort that you've put in. So this is something that you need to let people see, so that they can also know that yes, what they're going through is a real thing which you've been through as well, and that they still can come out. And then when they see that you are at this place and you are not ashamed of letting them know about your failures, it helps them be more vulnerable, because it helps them accept themselves and all their flaws. Because you sitting there, where everyone's looking at you, you're admitting to your flaws, and that becomes something which is very, very important for a lot of people out there. The energy is gaining momentum. This is your advice, and a time for healing. Yes, and I feel that whatever it is that you're doing, you have a whole lot of followers, you're going to get a lot more, pile number 2, because you've got 5 major arcana, and it's not a small thing. You are actually changing the world in a bigger way, on a larger platform. I think you already know it. I don't think most of you here are unaware of this. You know it, all right? And for some of you, maybe this moment has also happened wherein you've said something and it's suddenly your comments are filled with hate messages, maybe something like that has happened. If it's happened in the past, it's time for you to heal. But just know that you're very powerful, and especially if they're young ones who are listening to you, it is your responsibility to always speak from a place of balance. All right, you are a light worker. I'm so sure about it, and you have done tremendous work, and for that I am so grateful to you. I don't know who you are, but whoever you are doing wonderful work, and you are human, so you will feel passionate. Just control yourself from putting it out there. When you're in that energy, come back to balance and then address the same issue. I'm not telling you to not do those issues. If there's something you feel very passionate about, do it, but do not speak out till you come into balance, until you've done your complete research in everything. All right, this is a very powerful, very beautiful reading, sending you so much of love and strength to just, and all my best wishes to you, so that you can actually affect global change in a beautiful, beautiful manner. All right, so that's all I have for you. I hope this reading helped. And if you're going through this bad phase at this time, I'm sure that you will tide past it very soon. Give yourself time to heal. Don't sit in guilt for too long, and just move on, because you have the power to help people come out of their stagnant energy. You've got the power to help people see things differently. You can actually bring about great change. More power to you, pile number 2. Bye bye.